Italy, officially known as the Italian Republic, is located in the center of southern Europe with its territory reaching the Mediterranean Sea, and has the two largest islands, Sicily and Sardinia. Italy has land borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia. Italy has a total area of over 301,000 square kilometers with a population of about 60 million people. The capital of Italy is Rome, also known as the center of the ancient Roman Empire, and the center of the Roman Catholic Church. Italy has the most World Heritage sites of any other country, including famous cities of its own beauty and value. Such as Venice with its romantic canals of love. Florence is the oldest and most famous art center in the world. Milan is a fashion city of international stature. Maritime Pisa with its famous leaning tower. Stretching across the country, there are also majestic mountain ranges with the beauty of the four seasons. Beautiful stretches of beaches, captivating people, peaceful rivers winding around colorful streets, and great volcanoes still smoldering day and night. We invite you to explore Italy with us, the land of love and art. Dear audience, each year Italy attracts over 46 million visitors, and is known as a paradise of art, food, history, fashion, and culture. A place that everyone must have seen once in movies, or pictures with the theme of romantic love, is the city of Venice, located in the northeast of Italy. We invite you to join us to explore the canals of this famous city. The city of Venice in Italian is called Venezia. This is a city that looks like a giant network intertwined, with over 118 large and small islands, 175 interlaced canals, and 444 bridges across the canals. For a long time, Venice has always kept the beauty of being romantic, poetic, peaceful and calm. Venice was in the past an important maritime empire, and was a major garrison of the Roman Empire. In Venice the canal plays a very important role, as the main traffic road of the city. Most of the main means of transportation is by water, or on foot. Therefore, many tourists around the world also call Venice City with the name of the City of Rivers, or the City of Bridges. There are very few cities in the world that have such charming and romantic beauty as Venice, which is known as the European love paradise. Sitting on a gondola boat going through the canals, famous bridges are especially unforgettable experiences that visitors should not miss if they have the opportunity to visit Venice. This place also attracts visitors by the ancient beauty that is still preserved intact from thousands of years, and is the place of palaces, temples, and churches. The classical European architecture here has spread to every corner of the world for thousands of years. Those magnificent architectural works still proudly show themselves on both sides of the canal. The city of Venice has more than 120 Renaissance-style churches, with more than 60 monasteries, 100 bell towers, and 40 magnificent ancient palaces. In the center of Venice is St. Marco's Square, known in Italian as Piazza San Marco, built in the Romanesque style, and is considered one of the most beautiful squares in the world. With both dignified and splendid beauty, here visitors will feel the wealth of a Roman Empire, with the towering Campanile bell tower, and the majesty of the Doge's palace was designed in the Gothic style. This vibrant center has been the gathering place for Venetians for over 10 centuries. The square is 175 meters long and 82 meters wide, and is always filled with tourists, photographers, and pigeons. The most prominent here is the Basilica of San Marco, which is the most beautiful, splendid church with the most meticulous designs of Venice. Rome. Located in the center of Italy is the capital city of Rome, home to many great and extremely important architectural works of the Roman Empire era, which have attracted millions of visitors, as well as Catholics who come here every year for pilgrimage. The city is also known as All Roads Lead to Rome in English. The reason is because in the Golden Age of the Roman Empire, under the rule of Alexander the Great, This was the time when Rome was at its most powerful, and took over almost the entire world. So much so that wherever you go, you will find the land of the Romans. Hence the saying, all roads lead to Rome. The Colosseum is the greatest and most magnanimous historical monument left over from Roman times. This arena can accommodate up to 50,000 people, and is the place where gladiators compete, and also where hundreds of thousands of Catholics were killed for their Christianity. The Colosseum is the largest structure built in the 70s AD. Today the Colosseum is one of the main tourist attractions in Rome, with hundreds of thousands of visitors visiting each year. Inside the arena, part of the platform's foundation has been restored, to bring back the architectural features of more than 2,000 years ago. Below the Colosseum is a network of underground passages, once used to move animals, such as lions, or tigers, and gladiators to the ring to compete. Most of them fight to the death in the cheers of tens of thousands of spectators. Next to it is the ancient Roman square, where the Roman army was stationed before going to conquer the world, and was the most crowded, prosperous and richest place in Rome. According to recorded history, in the past, this place used to be the site of the great triumphal processions, the coronation ceremonies of Roman kings, but now after thousands of years it is only a ruin, sprawling with many ancient architectures and temples. And this is St. Peter's Square, designed in the Renaissance style, located in Vatican City, which is also a separate country within the city of Rome. The centerpiece of the square is St. Peter's Basilica, with its ancient, large, and tall dome striking the skyline of Rome. This square is the official Roman Catholic center in the world, and a tourist attraction that attracts large numbers of visitors every year. St. Peter's Basilica has a height of 120 meters, built in the place where St. Peter, also known as the first pope, was buried. The square was built from 1506 to 1615 and was completed. St. Peter's Basilica is one of the places with many world-famous art and cultural works. Most notably are the works of art by the talented painter and sculptor Michelangelo. This basilica is renowned as the most important pilgrimage site for Catholics, and for its purposes of international service. If visitors come here every Wednesday, they will have the opportunity to see and hear the Pope send a message to the parishioners. According to statistics, the city of Rome has about 50 large fountains, and hundreds of fountains are scattered throughout the city. Among them, the world's oldest recorded fountain, called Trevi, is a destination for praying and finding good luck. This is one of the beautiful and poetic architectural works. Located in the center of the fountain is a giant sea god statue standing on a chariot driven by two gods with fish heads. Above are 4 statues representing 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. White water columns, beautiful statue populations blurred together, sparkling the lake surface. Legend has it that if tourists come to Rome, and throw a coin into this fountain, they will have a chance to return to Italy again. If you throw in 2 coins, you will have a chance to meet your lover. And if 3 coins are thrown, it is a sign that a wedding is coming. And this is the stairway to the Spanish paradise. It is a place that easily gives visitors a feeling of thrill when you have to go up 135 steps to discover the Spanish building built in 1723. This place attracts a lot of tourists, and is an easy place to make friends with locals. Every May, the steps are decorated with beautiful pink azaleas. Nearby is the Pantheon, a place of worship for the god Athena, an ancient structure that is still quite intact in Rome. This temple attracts tourists because it is one of the oldest structures in Europe, still standing after thousands of years. Pisa. Located north of Rome is the city of Pisa, which is quite quiet and less touristy compared to other cities. The most prominent highlight here is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, along with the church complex and the surrounding square. Leaning Tower at Pisa is considered a symbol of Italy, built in the 12th century. The original shape of the tower stood upright, no different from other towers, but because it was built on a subsided ground, over time the tower sank to one side, and created the typical leaning shape today. However, the tower is still strong enough for visitors to visit the top, and this is also the attraction of the curiosity of many tourists everywhere. Florence. About an hour by train from Pisa is the city of Florence, which is called Firenze in Italian. This is a city long known as the heart of Italy, with museums, ancient castles, and massive cathedrals, and many cultural works typical of the illustrious Renaissance period. The ancient city of Florence was the cradle of world civilization for 4 centuries, from the 14th to the 19th century, and is still on the list of the most beautiful cities in the world. This place has long been the most attractive place of Italy and Europe. According to UNESCO statistics, 60% of the most important structures in the world are located in Italy, and half of them belong to the city of Florence. The most famous is the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. This is the 4th largest church in Europe built in Gothic architecture, with quite special materials. The front part of the cathedral is built of marble, the rear dome is built of red brick, combined with the towering cubic bell tower. The magnificence and splendor of the church is also adorned with pink, blue, and white stone slabs, combined with meticulous and diverse decorative motifs. Nearby is the Accademia Museum, which displays a nude statue of Emperor David. Outstanding sculptor Michelangelo made this work when he was only 26 years old. It took him 2 years to sculpt this statue from a large piece of marble. This 5 meters high nude statue depicting the biblical boy David has become the world's masterpiece of sculpture. In addition to the immortal statue of David, there are 4 unfinished collections of Michelangelo. And this is the ancient bridge Ponte Vecchio on the romantic Arno River, is the oldest bridge in Florence and was built in 1345. The famous bridge above the bridge has many houses built according to ancient architecture. This was a very popular design in the great cities of medieval Europe. Today it is home to shops adorned with the yellow of the sunflowers, and the purple of the grape fields. Florence is the capital of Tuscany and is one of the most romantic places in Italy. Tuscany is a harmonious whole of the beauty of the mountains, the sea, the ancient contemplation, bringing the beauty of the countryside, grace, blending into the features of luxury and wealth. Tuscany's countryside has vast vineyards, and is the leading producer of wine in the world. Every corner of Tuscany holds its own charm. From picturesque hill towns and ancient Roman fishing villages, to seaside resorts, marks the mark of age-old affluence. Driving through the beautiful roads of Tuscany is a pleasure for many visitors to this land. And this is a majestic masterpiece of northeastern Italy, that is, the Dolomites, which are part of the Alps. This place is so large that most visitors say they do not know where to start the journey, and how to climb, when there are 40 high peaks at an altitude of 2,200 meters to 3,300 meters, and there are over 18 routes the way up the mountain. This place is like a majestic painting, with steep, high and steep stone walls, narrow and deep valleys. The space here is breathtakingly beautiful and majestic that words cannot describe. The Dolomites really deserve to be listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2009. Famous places to come here are connected through the Great Dolomites Pass, with the most prominent destinations including Lake Carizza, the town of Cortina, the top of Tracime, and the beautiful little capital of Bolzano. The most poetic place here is probably the ancient town of Cortina at the westernmost end of the Great Dolomites Pass. Even centuries ago, many famous poets and writers in the world such as Ernest Hemingway or Saul Bellow have traveled thousands of miles to admire the simple but attractive beauty of Cortina. Over time, the visits of great poets brought Cortina full artistic value, both in poetry and music and cinema. Surrounding the town is the majestic Tracime di Lavoreto Mountains with an altitude of more than 3,000 meters. Tracime with 3 legendary peaks is the border between Austria and Italy. The majestic beauty of Tracime, of the undulating mountains, of the colorful forest edges can hardly be fully described in any frame or word. That beauty can only be fully admired with the eyes, with the feeling of each visitor when he finds himself so small in the midst of the wonderful nature. Milan. And this is the most fashionable capital in the world. The city of Milan, Italian called Milano, is the second largest city of Italy. Milan has an ancient beauty with great architectural works, and is a tourist destination that attracts many tourists every year. Milan is famous as the fashion capital of Europe with many famous brands. And this is also a place for famous fashion designers in the world to hold fashion shows, attracting many world-famous supermodels. And this is the shopping mall Quadrilatero d'Oro, a must-visit tourist destination for travelers who love to shop. This center is a small square that has existed for a long time in the city of Milan, which is home to many large shopping stores of the most famous fashion brands in the world. Located in the center of Milan is the Duomo Cathedral, a magnificent church built in the Gothic style. Construction of the church began in 1296 and took hundreds of years to complete. This place attracts with its unique beauty to each pattern sculpted in detail and meticulously. For those who love and want to explore Gothic architecture, this famous work cannot be ignored. The church is famous for its tops of granite towers standing side by side. This is the third largest church in the city of Milan, with a total of 135 tall and pointed spires, bringing the stateliness and splendor of the most prosperous period of Italy. For those who are passionate about painting, a visit to the monastery of Santa Maria del Grazia in Milan is truly remarkable. Visitors, especially Catholics, will be able to see firsthand the masterpiece The Last Supper of Jesus with his disciples, painted on the wall by the painter Leonardo da Vinci. In addition to the ancient and magnificent cities, romantic and poetic canals, great architectural works of art, landmarks of a glorious time of the Roman Empire, majestic landscapes of mountains, Italy is also surrounded by beautiful beaches stretching around the old villages, bringing a beauty like a classical painting. Around the corners of Italy are calm rivers, winding around the hills, stretching to the horizon. The images and experiences of Italy will leave visitors with beautiful memories, moments of feeling love and unforgettable passion, of a creative world full of Italian art.